Good day, learners. In previous class, we have seen about double sideband suppressed carrier amplitude modulation. In this class, we will be seeing about single sideband suppressed carrier amplitude modulation. What is SSB? So, in general, we always send two sidebands, that is upper sideband and lower sidebands, which is going to be the sum and difference of the carrier and modulating signals. Here, one sideband is only used for transmitting and recovering the useful message. So when one is getting suppressed, the other one is going to be called as single sideband suppressed carrier, or in other terms SSB. What about the transmission bandwidth for SSB? It is going to be FM. So the bandwidth of SSB SE signal is FM as the bandwidth same of the baseband signal. Now let us see the frequency spectrum of single sideband suppressed carrier amplitude modulation. So if you see here, this is going to be our carrier frequency and this is going to be our LSB and USB. So see here, the dotted lines indicates that one of the sideband is suppressed and we have the other sideband alone. Next, we will discuss about the phasor diagram of SSB SCAM. We have already seen many phasor diagram for DSB, the main AM, everything. So this is going to be the phasor diagram for SSB. So one of these, this is going to be the carrier one. As see here, our one of the sideband is not going to be there and we are going to get only for the LSB signal. So this is going to be our VSB wave, the resultant wave, and this is going to be our LSB side wave. So now let us see the power calculation of the SSB AM. So the total power, how we are going to calculate is, it is going to be given as PT, and when we speak about power, we already knew that one of the sideband is suppressed. So we can consider either USB or LSB. So if one sideband is there, the value is going to be like 1 by 4 MA square PC. So PC is going to represent here the carrier power and MA square is going to be our modulation index. So power savings with respect to AM with carrier is going to be PT minus PT double dash by PT. So this is going to be the formula, and PT, as we all know, it is going to be the total power transmitted. So after the derivations, by substituting the values of PT, every value is going to be the same. After substituting this, we are going to get the final equation of power, which is equal to 4 plus MA square by 4 plus 2 MA square. So this is how we are going to calculate the power for SSB SCAM. So if MA is equal to 1, then what will be the power saved? That is when your modulation index. Okay. So when modulation index is going to be 1, your power saving is going to be 83.33%. So you're saving more compared to your AM. So we have in SSB two types of methods. They are frequency discrimination or filter method and the phase shift method. I once again repeat, there are two methods in SSB SCAM. First one is going to be the frequency discrimination and the second one is going to be phase shift method. So this method is generally used for generating SSB signal, and you are going to use this single sideband band pass filter to suppress the carrier. So if you look over the diagram here, we have a crystal oscillator, buffer, the balance modulator, sideband suppression filter. So this filter is going to reduce one of the sidebands and give only one. And then we have the balance mixer. Here we have again a crystal oscillator or synthesizer, and this is for other sideband filtration, and audio amplifier is you are going to give the audio in a very high output. So when we are seeing about frequency discrimination method, the quality factor of single sideband depends on the carrier frequency and the frequency separation between the sidebands. So we need to find out the quality factor, how much it is there. So when we speak about this linear power amplifier, this linear power amplifier are actually used to avoid the distorting the sideband signal. Initially, the modulation takes place in the balanced modulator. Here only the modulation takes place at a very low frequency. And then after the modulation takes place here, it will go to the sideband suppression filter where the sidebands are getting suppressed. So what is the use of the filters here is, it is of very small size, it has a good band pass characteristics, and as we all know, it has a good attenuation characteristics and upper frequency is there. So the crystal filters are going to be very cheap, and it is going to be very less frequencies of less than 1 megahertz. So after that we have the mixer. So in this method the mixer is going to be followed by the balance modulator and the amplifier, everything, and there are going to be the other input. So the balance mixer is going to get the output from the filter as well as the crystal oscillator, and then only your SSB output is going to given to the linear amplifiers. So the next method is going to be phase shift method or phasing method. So the phase shift method has the disadvantages of filtering method, and here the requirement of a sideband filter with a narrow transition band. It cannot be used at very low or very high frequencies. Okay, so if the here you can see we have additional block called as 90-degree phase shift. So we are going to give two inputs, namely AM cos 2 pi FMT and AM sin 2 pi FMT, and here we have a product modulator, and here also we have a product modulator. So if you check here, the input signal goes directly to the product modulator, but here it is going to have a 90-degree phase shift, and then only it will get into the product modulator. The same here. After the product modulator, here also we are going to have a 90-degree phase shift, and then only it is going to get into the summing amplifier. So the output of the product modulator is going to be like both message signal and the carrier signal. If you see here, the product modulator input is going to be AM cos 2 pi FMT and AC cos 2 pi FCT. And for this product modulator 2, we are going to have AM sin 2 pi FMT, that is the message signal, and your carrier signal is going to be AC sin 2 pi FCT. So this is what is going to get into the summing amplifier. So this summing amplifier is going to do the summation process, and after that it is going to send to the linear power amplifier and matching network, and followed by the antenna. So through the antenna we are able to transmit our SSB signal. So how we are going to represent this balance modulator 1 and 2, we will see it now. So as I told you, your carrier voltage is represented, your amplitude of the carrier frequency is given as this, and this is going to be our message signal. So input signals for modulator 2, this is going to be the modulator 2, and this is going to be for modulator 1. So modulator 1 does not have any change, it will go directly. Whereas for your modulator 2, there is going to be phase shift. See here, we have phase shift. So what is the output from the modulator 1? So the output from modulator 1, if you check here, it is going to have the VC sin omega CT and VM sin omega MT. But for the output from modulator 2, we are going to have it with a phase shift again. So we need to sum both the equations, and we are going to get the output of the summing amplifier. So here your upper sideband is going to get cancelled, and we are going to have only our lower sideband. So the lower sideband is only used for transmission in this purpose. So what about the advantages and disadvantages? The bandwidth is going to be half when compared to your double sideband full carrier, and the requirement is transmitted power is reduced. Why it is reduced? Because we are going to have a good power saving. So the transmission power is reduced because of the power we have saved in the side one of the sidebands, and because of the narrow bandwidth of SSB, the effect of noise at the receiver side is going to be reduced, and when the noise is reduced, obviously we are going to have a better quality in reception of SSB. And what about the disadvantages? The transmission and reception of SSB becomes more complex. When the complexity increases, the performance standard is high. The next one, SSB receivers requires only precise tuning. Why it is required for precise tuning means in AM we does not require a very correct tuning. You can generally tune it, but here we need to concentrate as it is going to be a single sideband. We are going to see about the applications of single sideband modulation. So when we are speaking about application, it is used in point-to-point radio telephone communication and SSB telegraph system. Wireless communication, it is given as general, but mainly it can be used for the police people, and it can be also used in very high frequencies and upper high frequency communication. Thank you.